In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through Chapter 13, Externalities. The definition of external costs is the negative spillover effects of production. They affect the third parties in a negative way. A third party is someone who is not directly involved in the production or the consumption or buying or selling of the product. For example, if you sat next to somebody smoking a cigarette, you will be inhaling secondhand smoke. You are not directly involved in the consumption of the cigarette. This makes you the third party. Moving on to some examples of external costs. Firstly, air and water pollution. These are generated by factories, and polluting the air and water damages the health of local residents. The consequence of this is that society experiences additional healthcare costs. This could be due to the contamination of local food and water supplies. This will be a significant burden to the government as they will be spending money on healthcare and hospitals, and the overall productivity of the economy will decrease. In the case for congestion, driving creates traffic congestions and noise, which causes delays and stress for other drivers. Congestion is wasted economic productivity, as people could be at work producing something that the economy values as opposed to sitting in the car in traffic, and there will be an increase in localized air and noise pollution within the area. And in the case for mining, this destroys natural habitats and reduces the quality of life for families and communities that live nearby. And the problem with mining is that it causes irreversible loss of biodiversity and the ecosystem services. And due to mining, this will lead to long-term environmental impacts, which is caused by noise, air, and visual pollution. Now moving on to external benefits. The definition is the positive spillover effects of consumption. They bring benefits to third parties. And the consumption of these goods and services will gain an advantage without having to pay for it. Some examples can include education, as a well-educated workforce helps businesses become more productive and reduces crime rates in society. This is due to the result of education, which sparks innovation and knowledge spillovers, which facilitates quantity and quality of productivity. Education also reduces the public spending as unemployment benefits and housing benefits, which comes out from the government revenue. And all of this leads to a more productive economy. And in the case for healthcare, this allows people to get the appropriate treatment, leading to a more productive society for everyone. The benefit of healthcare is that the economy will experience higher levels of productivity as less people are taking sick days off. And because people are not getting sick, they are not going to the hospital, therefore this will be less burden on the taxpayers, as hospital facilities and other public goods are paid by them. Furthermore, with a healthier labor force, there will be a larger quantity of people that will be willing and able to work, which will lead to less poverty and inequality. And in the case of vaccinations, this will prevent the spread of infectious diseases, protecting healthy individuals who never paid for the medical treatment. So not only the individual will be protected against preventable diseases, but this also protects the entire community, which reduces the stress on hospitals. Remember, although hospitals are non-excludable, they are indeed rivalrous due to the scarce number of hospital beds within the hospital. And lastly, this will elevate higher levels of productivity within the economy. Now moving on to social costs. Social costs of an economic activity to society as well as an individual or firm. An example of social costs are the environmental degradation of farming, or going to the hospital getting treated for lung problems due to smoking. Private costs are the cost to the individual of purchasing the product, or the costs incurred to businesses to produce goods and services. And social costs are private costs plus external costs. And in the case for social benefits, these are the true total benefits of an economic activity to the whole of society. And private benefits in the case for the consumer is the enjoyment or the satisfaction of consuming a good, or in the case for production, the profits made from the firm. And the formula to social benefits is the private benefit plus the external benefits. I've marked this section with an asterisk as these two key terms do not belong in this part of the syllabus. In the case for demerit goods, these have large external costs which are heavily overproduced in the free market and sold at prices that are way too low. Some examples of demerit goods is tobacco, alcohol, sugary drinks, gambling, drugs, coal-fired power, single-use plastics, chemical fertilizers, and intensive factory farming. All of these goods are bad for society. And in the case for merit goods, these are goods with external benefits that are underproduced because of the free market completely fails to recognize their true overall value to society. These include vaccinations, education, health screenings, gym membership, public transport, renewable energy, affordable housing, research development into clean technology, and many more. And for government intervention and policies to deal with externalities, these will be available in Chapter 24. I hope that helped. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.